What changed your mind on Trump? When I was in prison, I remember having a conversation with my dad, and I told him that he absolutely needed to vote for Trump. Trump is anti-establishment. He's going to drain the swamp. He is the person that we need right now in office. And my dad laughed at me, and he said, Trump is the epitome of everything that is wrong with this nation. He is a billionaire with a golden toilet that is somehow convinced the working class people that he is relatable to them. And we've even found out that that is a lie. The man has been inflating his wealth for decades just so he could get on the Forbes 400 list. Everything he tells us is a lie. But ultimately, I read books. Now, initially, when I read these books, it was not with the intention of becoming educated or switching sides. It was the intention of being well-versed in the debate whenever I had to defend Trump or become a Trump or Republican apologist. And in that process, I read a book by Michelle Alexander called The New Jim Crow, and it forever changed my mind and perspective. And this stat right here absolutely blew my mind. 1 in 3 black males carry a convicted felon label. Yes, you heard that number correctly. 1 in 3 black males carry a convicted felon label. And the Republican response to any stats on crime concerning black people has always been, well, just don't commit crimes. Accept personal accountability for your actions. It's the culture. It's the fatherless homes. But the one thing Republicans will never admit that it is systemic racism. And if systemic racism doesn't exist, then that just means black males are inherently evil with the proclivity to commit crime. And I can't go for that. So I did some research. And once I learned black history and learned that black history is American history, my eyes were open and I saw the truth, and you can never unsee the truth once you see it. Mass incarceration became modern day slavery. Our Constitution currently has slavery still legal in it. The 13th Amendment says the abolishment of slavery except when punishment for a crime. Slave labor was such an integral part of the economy, particularly the Southern economy, that once slavery was abolished, the economy was going to collapse. We had the 1866 Civil Rights Act, which was supposed to ensure that black people could enter into contracts, sue or be sued, own, sell, purchase, lease property. But of course, there were loopholes in which state sovereignty allowed the racism to continue on. And we had convict leasing, black reconstruction, Jim Crow segregation. And people will say, Danny, well, that was so long ago. That's not happening today. But is it? Is it really that long ago? Is it not happening today? What were some attributes of Jim Crow segregation? Black people were disenfranchised. They had poll taxes and literacy exams in order to be able to vote. Although most white people would not give them the education, nor did they have the money to pay. We had black people relegated to living in certain areas, sitting in certain seats on a bus, drinking from certain water fountains, could not get jobs, could not get education, could not get housing. Well, right now in 2023, what group of people can you still legally do that to? Convicted felons. Now, do you think it's a coincidence that 1 in 3 black males carry a convicted felon label? I think not. Then I became a convicted felon myself, and I saw it firsthand. I got a small glimpse into what black people have been dealing with for centuries for none other than being black. I saw how hard it was for me to get a job, to get housing, to just basically survive and live day to day. And that's when it hit me. I realized that I was voting or supporting a party against my best interest because that party doesn't even want me to vote. Make no mistake about it. The Republican Party of law and order is all about the prison industrial complex. They are the masterminds behind mass incarceration. They are the back the blue crowd because they know it props up the economy. They're the ones criminalizing mental health and substance abuse. They're criminalizing poverty. They're the ones that want to keep barriers to voter suppression and disenfranchising people and keeping people from getting jobs and from education and from housing. They're the ones that support the felon laws that keep all this perpetuated. And when Trump becomes a felon, I hope he experiences some of these barriers. Although he is a wealthy one, it probably won't matter to him as much because if you have wealth in the United States, it really doesn't matter.
Boom. Hey, Mastermind.
Hello, hello. That for everybody. I just want everybody to know that was not Charlie Brown's politics brother.
even though it looked like him.
It looked very much like him.
Did you want to get into it, or do you want me to roll another one while we're waiting for the fine
uh,
civilians to take their seats? And
I wanted to say like hello to everyone. I wanted to like give a shout out to my Smasha, my part of Smasha, who's over here handling business. She don't want to be on camera, but she's handling the chats. So I thank her for that because like I'm gonna pull this one up if that's okay, Masha. Okay, so Kim Kimish,
Kamashari,
thank you,
Kamashwari Kate.
thank
Sorry, Kate.
you. Oh wait, that's not even the one I was looking for. She said she was cooking.
Cooking in the kitchen. Yeah, I saw
Yeah,
that.
cooking in
Cooking
the
in the kitchen.
kitchen. I'm sorry, I didn't even pull the right one up. So for the people cooking in the kitchen, because that's what I do when I'm watching independent media and I can't really comment or whatever, or I can't really look and I'm just listening. So the comments are important for people to speak on so the people cooking in the kitchen can hear.
That's the whole podcast part. But I do have this one other piece of video. If you wanted to run that, or do you want to get right into our subject of the day?
You can run it. We got time.
It's a short one. Let's see what
Run it.
this one. Let's see what this one looks like.
Hi, Robbie.
Here's every ceasefire deal and prisoner exchange that Hamas has offered Israel since October 7th. October 9th, Hamas offers Israel an unspecified number of women and children being held hostage in Gaza in exchange for 36 Palestinian women and children being held hostage in Israeli prisons. October 16th, a Hamas official says they'd free all Israeli captives in Gaza in exchange for 6,000 Palestinian captives in Israel. October 17th, a Hamas official tells NBC News that they'd release all of their Israeli civilian captives if Israel agreed to stop bombing Gaza. October 28th, Hamas's leader in Gaza offers to release all of the Israeli captives in Gaza in exchange for all of the Palestinian captives in Israeli prisons. This proposal, more commonly known as All for All, was a demand widely adopted by Israelis protesting against Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. November 17th, Qatari negotiators proposed a deal where Hamas will release 50 Israeli captives in exchange for a 3-day ceasefire. Hamas agrees to the general outline of the deal. Israel refuses. January 2nd, Hamas proposed a 3-phase deal where Hamas releases 40 Israeli captives in exchange for a gradual withdrawal of Israeli forces from Gaza and the release of Palestinian captives. In the last phase, Israel would end the war and Hamas would release all of its Israeli captives. Israel rejected this offer. January 18th, members of the Israeli government make a proposal to Benjamin Netanyahu to reopen negotiations with Hamas. He refuses. January 22nd, Israel rejects a deal where Hamas would release Israeli captives in exchange for the release of Palestinian captives, a withdrawal of Israeli forces from Gaza, and accepting Hamas's leadership in Gaza. February 7th, Hamas proposes a 3-phased, 4.5-month ceasefire, where in the first phase, Hamas would release all women, children, ill, and young male Israeli captives in exchange for the release of Palestinian women and children being held captive in Israeli jails. In the second phase, adult male captives on both sides would be exchanged, and then in the third phase, remains of the dead and an end to the war. March 15th, Hamas offers to release Israeli women, children, elderly, and sick captives being held in Gaza in exchange for 700 to 1,000 Palestinian captives in Israeli prisons. And most recently, yesterday, Hamas offered to participate in a proposed 3-stage deal where in the first phase...
Oh, that just dropped right out of nowhere. But you get the idea there. Yeah, I guess if they would have maybe offered to trade a handful of magic beans, that might have worked better. But there was never going to be. They don't want the hostages back. It was never part of the plan. The hostages were the excuse for them to go in and eradicate people. It was never the goal.
Hi, Rondo Ellsworth. I always love to see you in the chat. But yeah, it was never the goal. It's an excuse.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. They want, everybody keeps saying that they want the beachfront property, and then other people are saying, oh no, they want the oil. And yeah, those are nice. Those are the cherries on the
And
top.
they want the canal.
That's the main course right there. They want to bypass the Suez Canal.
Oh, Todd Smith has entered the chat. You trying to get in here? What you doing, girl? You in here?
She's just shoving you over to the side a little.
She said, "Oh, my bad." She's just trying to help out in the background.
She's doing
She
every
said,
little bit.
my bad.
Yeah, every little bit
She's
helps.
doing good.
Absolutely.
Good job, Todd Smith.
Mandatory
Okay.
thumbs up.
Yes. All right. So, there's so much that has been going on, that everybody has been talking about. So I don't think we need to belabor all these points, right? Like we know what's been going on because everybody's talking about it.
Yeah.
I kind of just wanted to talk about censorship and what's happening with Brianna Joy Gray, if that's okay.
Let's do it.
But before I do that, Tasha, go ahead and pull up some of these chats so we could. All right, Jacqueline says saw a picture of a young hostage who was rescued recently. She looks like she was very well treated.
Yes, there was an Israeli anchor, Channel 12 anchor, who got canned because she made the comment that the hostage's eyebrows looked better than hers.
Okay, old man Barker, hey. Oh, where'd it go? Come on, T. T, get on your job. There she go. She said, hey, Robbie, Miguel.
Old man
No,
Barker,
not
yelling out
that.
to
It was
Bobby, Miguel,
comment.
Dr. Nick,
I
Zombie,
know. Hey,
Abby, Wanda,
everybody.
Cookies, Kate. Yeah, I did get to shout him out, so that was good for me. Thank you for showing up, guys. It means a lot. It really does. And gals.
Yes. And to Tasmit's favor, I taught her StreamYard 10 minutes before we went live. So she's doing the best she can with what she has. And
True.
I appreciate her for that. So shout out to Tasmit.
Truth.
Mm-hmm. So can I go back? Can I grab some comments? Okay.
So I just watched Bree's Bad Faith with Due Dissonance with Keaton and Russell, and she was talking about how her little. She mostly was talking less about the girl that she had on Rising. She spent a lot of time talking about the debate that she had with the three Zionists on stage that were ganging up on her. And I guess she admitted that she did it for the paycheck, and I guess I don't blame her. I would take their money too, but I think that she kind of set herself up for that. She knew what she was getting into. Oh, I lost you. I can't hear you.
Nope, I put myself on mute because Todd Smith is right here.
Gotcha.
Right there.
I gotcha.
Working the other computer. So I just put myself on mute. That's all.
Here. How much did she get paid? She said that she asked her double her normal speaking rate, and they met her most of the way there. So if you know how much you usually get paid, it's almost double that.
Okay, I gotta put this one up. Michael is so supportive of us, and we're so supportive of us. And I love it. Thank you so much. Hello Nordstrom.
Yeah, good. Yeah. I still don't even try
Uh,
and say
uh,
it out loud.
I know. Michael, put your handle up so we could show it for the people. All right, so I'm gonna show my. Oh, Bree was playing a position. I always kind of seen her as the spook who sat by the door. Oh, okay.
Gatekeeper.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, I want to hear more about that. Look, what did Kendrick Lamar say? You don't know nobody that. You don't know nothing about that. I want to hear more about that.
Yeah, all I know about Brie is what I hear, what she says, and then what I hear read in chat. But other than that, I never met the woman, so I can't speak for her.
Mm.
Nordstrom.
Oh, here it is. Nihilo Nordstrom.
Nahilo Nordstrom.
No, it's Ni.
Nihilo.
It's Nihilo
Nihilo
Nordstrom.
Nordstrom.
Guys, go like him and on Twitter. Subscribe to his page, and you will hear more from him sooner than later.
Yeah,
All
it was
right,
barely. That was hardly even an eye roll. It was more of like a flutter, a quick flutter.
Oh,
The
everybody's
spook
so
who sat
kind
by.
and so sweet. They're so kind and so sweet. Everybody's saying hello to you. Ooh, I'm sorry. Yep. Okay, can I grab this one real quick? So she's Jacqueline says, does Nahila Nordstrom mean anything? It does. So Michael,
Good luck.
write it out. It's like a Latin word for I forget shit.
It's like the thought of nothing, something like that. I don't know. You're gonna have to ask.
Something. But Michael, okay.
Out of nothing came creation. What is nothing?
Okay, here he goes.
You guys ever heard of ex creato nihilo? Out of nothing came creation. What is nothing? Nobody knows. Nice.
And this is why I love my podcast with Michael, because he's so deep. Like he goes down the rabbit hole. And I love that because I do too. But I don't think I go down. I've never gone down. I go down a rabbit hole. He goes around the Icarus edge, then into the rabbit hole. So that's why I love our conversations together. So shout out to Nahilo Nordstrom, Michael. Please like and subscribe to his channel. Yep. So should we start with should we just go ahead and go on?
Let's do this.
Okay, let's do it. We're doing it. Here we go.
There has
Oh,
been
wait, before I start. Oh. Can you go a
There's the
little-
bell.
I have no idea who that is. Cosmic is gonna go look.
Make sure they got a warrant.
I have no clue. Is that my mama? It's probably my mama, huh? This lady. Oh my gosh. Okay, anyway.
If it's a Jehovah's Witness and they want to help, tell them they got to come in and join in the podcast. We get them in on here.
So I have not watched this at all. And you haven't either. Just a disclaimer. So when you hear something that like takes you aback, tell me to pause it. I'll pause it.
All right.
And
Yeah,
I'm gonna do the same, okay?
yeah, this is when I got to see a couple minutes of it. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I did.
I haven't seen it at all.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go. Was that my mama? Okay. She good? Okay.
She's always good.
Here we go.
and a lot of effort to suppress me at the Hill for a long time now. And I have been single-handedly fighting to get any Gaza coverage for months now. The staff that we had in January is, with the exception of Robbie and I, 100% different than the staff that exists today. They have
I can't imagine a
pushed
lot of
out
turnover
or
at the Hill.
fired every single person that was working at the Hill as of January. Like, we had an intern leave in January. We took a big group picture, and Robbie and I reflected back on that picture and was like, nobody in this picture is still working here, from the lighting guy, the sound guy, like the mic guy, like nobody's still there except for Robbie and myself. And
looks like Bree's
part
producer
of
took a
what
hike
that
too.
has meant is that, to the extent that they were, the staff was always divided. Sorry about that. The staff has always been divided, sort of. Some people are more conservative, some are more left-leaning. But
Yeah, that's
to the extent that
breaking
there
her
were
stride
any
a little
people
there.
who, even if they didn't agree
Fucking
with me,
tech
knew how to write
issues.
in my voice and pull subjects and do research that they know that our left audience is going to be interested in, there was nobody there. Which has meant that if I propose an Israel segment, everyone in the room is rolling their eyes and harumphing because they don't want to do it. And the language that became very common at the Hill was the Israel block. Like, it became clear that all the Israel news of a day, there was going to be an effort to condense it into one of 10 blocks that eight to 10 blocks that we aim to do every day, right? So that means that if there's a story about a new bombing campaign where a bunch of Palestinians die, and there's a separate story about how the hostage negotiation is happening, and there's a different story about Netanyahu coming to talk to Congress, and there's a different story about college protesters doing X, Y, and Z, and there's, there could be 12 different stories that are Israel related, right? It doesn't matter. There's only going to be one block. And if I suggest, oh, this clip is going viral of Jamal Bowman talking to Charlemagne the God about his AIPAC challenge, it doesn't matter. Either I'm going to fight for it and there's going to be so much tension behind the scenes, or I let it go and we're going to just have the one Israel block. And that is why I've been doing a lot more radars again. About a year ago, I only did 3 days a week. And the agreement was, if you do 4, you don't have to do radars anymore, and they're very time consuming. So I said, sure. Right. I have been doing radars and 4 days a week because the only way I can slip in another Israel block and all the news that doesn't get covered is to do a radar. But whereas
got to put in overtime to get
full editorial control over our radars,
out.
That too has gone the way of the dinosaur with this new producer that they hired, who has started to try to change my radars and soften the things that I've said. So this has all been coming to a head over time. Why am I bringing this up? I'm bringing this up because because of the perceived imbalance of our Israel coverage, there's been a lot of pressure to have the other side.
Okay.
and I have been
Okay.
single-handedly fighting.
You took it back to the
I
beginning.
just
it looks
want
like.
to. I want to pause right there because this is a censorship issue.
100%. Yeah, if the Zionists want to downplay the trope that they run the media, they should probably stop running the media with an iron fist. I mean, if you can talk about anything but Israel, then we know who's running the media.
Well, Kanye West told you who was running the media.
Yeah.
Didn't
Well,
he?
it's not a surprise to anybody. Nobody's shocked. There's no outrage because everybody knows what the fucking deal is. Now, what can we do?
Robbie says, when was this? I mean, she just got fired this weekend or something.
Yeah, Thursday was her last day.
Yeah,
I think.
so this
Wednesday or Thursday.
I don't know when this was, because to be honest with you, Robbie, I've been through it all day, and I didn't even know what we was going to talk about. I am shocked. It's sad. Where is true non-yellow journalism? What does that
Doesn't
mean?
exist.
Yellow.
That's
What's that mean?
that's slanted. When the New York Times writes a pro-Israel piece, that's yellow journalism, or anytime that's propaganda journalism.
Oh, so yellow journalism means
It's got nothing to do with
propaganda?
Asians. Yeah, it's got nothing to do with the color yellow.
Yellow
I think it
journalism
actually
means
comes from there
propaganda
was
journalism.
the
I've never
early.
heard of that term. That's why I'm
Yeah,
asking.
I think it comes from, if I'm not mistaken, there was like an early version of what would be now like the Inquirer, and was printed on yellow paper, literal yellow sheets of paper, and that's how they got the name yellow journalism.
Oh, that makes
The more you know. Dun 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 dun.
Okay, yellow belly chicken. You know what, Dr. Nick, he is petty as hell.
Yeah, there's a good example right there.
It's how they. Oh, I didn't get to read it. I'm sorry. Robbie is a secret Jew. Yellow journalism is how
He does
made
go to bat for Israel a lot.
cannabis illegal. Ah,
Yeah.
you know what? This is why we do what we do, because we don't all know everything. We don't all understand everything. We teach each other so we can move forward in a better direction. Yes?
Yeah. Well, we're not professionals here. We're not, public servants. We are civilians. We're banging my mic. We're civilians. That's
Having a discourse.
yes. So if you think that there's any yellow journalism going on here, I think we'd have to get paid first or something. At least have some sort of amoral political stance that we're trying to push, other than keeping people alive and safe.
Okay, so can you see that, Mastermind?
So it's yellow journalism, sort of propaganda. Yeah, it can't, absolutely. I don't know if it's specifically mandated just to the state, but yeah, sure. Or like if you wrote a Time article about how 4 out of 5 dentists smoke Camel cigarettes, that would be yellow journalism as well.
Ooh, put up that Dr. Nick, please. What? We're engaged in freedom of speech and free association.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Well,
that's what we're trying to do. That's all we're trying to do. Not that one. Tasha, the funny one. The doing it and
doing it and doing it and doing it.
Doing it and doing it and
So
doing
LL,
it. Where is it, Tasha?
It's one up, one
Yeah,
more.
she told me, hold up.
I got it. Oh, there it goes. We both got it.
Doing
El
it
Cool
and
J?
doing it and doing it now. Doing it and doing it and doing it now. Now the original song is doing it and doing it and doing it well. Doing it and doing it and doing it well. I love that. Thank you for that reminder of being happy. 'Cause I'm happy. So should I continue with the
Get back in it.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna have to guess where it is. I think we accidentally went back to the beginning.
I know. I don't know how that happened. I'm gonna fix it. I got it. All right.
Come on, Nick. You know I like girls with bamboo earrings. At least 2 pair.
Bad cookies is bad. He has that name for a reason. God damn it. Here we go.
Talk about Israel.
What's a Chiron? The
Why are we
Chiron's a
talking about
little
Israel so much?
banner that's
That
floating
is
at
the
the bottom
environment
that
you have
says
to
"Free is
understand.
free." The lower
Sorry.
third. Sorry, I was explaining to Jacqueline what a Chiron is.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, that's just it. It's where it says "Brie is free." It's a little banner at the bottom. Sometimes they'll call it a lower third in the industry.
Oh.
In the industry, that's what they call a cigarette book. That's a Fight Club.
I need one right now. I ain't gonna lie. All right, here we go.
To people who want to line up to throw tomatoes at me on the internet because they want to spread some rape hoax lie.
Yeah. Wow.
And by the way, the senior producer, or I don't know what his title is, but a senior manager came into the room for that conversation, and his solution was going to be, well, we should just talk about Israel less. Why are we talking about Israel so much? That is the environment you have to
That'll solve it. We'll just ignore it.
And so whatever you think about me and Robbie's arguments on screen, it was infinitely worse off screen. And to his credit, like, I don't think I have to contextualize or explain how frustrated I was with Robbie on screen, but he has always been a believer in our kind of partnership in the kind of show that we do. Right. And has been, trying to make me happy and not want to leave, as I've been frankly threatening to do for months now, because he believes in the project and the show. And we joke about this. He would call himself this too. It's kind of a company man and just wants everything to be peaceful so that he can keep doing the show and cashing checks and being happy. You know what I mean? Like, right. God bless him. He's a simple man. Right. So he has been my ally of sorts, despite personally not wanting to talk about Israel either, but he knows that compromises have to be made. I didn't really want to talk about the trans stuff, as and he doesn't want to talk about Israel, but we all know that we got to play our part, and sometimes it's difficult.
But yes, I mean, that definitely came through, but that definitely came through between you and Robbie, I'll say. But, as an audience member, I could definitely sense that. But towards the end of the interview, the eye roll, the alleged eye roll, which is, I gotta say.
You want to say something?
No, I was just making an offhand comment that Keith didn't want to bring up the sexual tension between Brie and Robbie.
Oh.
Just making a joke. Sorry.
I'm here for it.
Robbie's definitely a simple man. Yeah, for you.
I'm here for it because she could definitely tie him up.
Yeah, she did call him a simple man.
Minute of it.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I'm just saying.
Frustration coming out of his pores.
I'm just saying. All right, so let me go back to it. But he's a simp, for sure.
As a sarcastic Jew bastard who has rolled his eyes thousands of times in his life, that was a pretty mild eye roll. I mean, it was barely a detectable eye roll. Yeah. I've rolled my eyes a lot harder than that, for a lot less. she said at the end, you should believe women. And to me, I mean, you tell me if I'm wrong, but that to me is what seemed like it triggered the eye roll. Because
you personally.
Yes,
she made it about you. She didn't make it general.
And she made it about believing women. You weren't rolling your eyes at the thought of a woman being raped.
I just want to say this. Can you put that back up, Tajmit, from Bad Cookies? I would let her tie me up too.
So we're all in agreement here.
We have
a consensus.
Do we have a consensus that we would let Bree tie us up? Baby. All right. Okay. I'm off of my soapbox. Let me go on. All right. Here we go.
Dirtiest soapbox in town.
Raped by a Hamas soldier. You were rolling your eyes. Oh, you're really going to go there? Now I don't believe women because I won't repeat debunked talking points about a mass rape hoax. That means I don't believe women now.
So even rehashing it.
Yeah, so that, like, it's not what, to me is what looked like it triggered. You know, what was it? Like not even that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what just happened. I'm sorry. Let me fix it. But look,
Mossad got into your computer.
Can you put Rondo's comment back up?
The thought of a woman being raped by a Hamas soldier. You were rolling your eyes. Oh, you're really going to go there? Now I don't believe women because I
Can you put Ron? Yeah. Bree is my third ex-wife and second baby mama. You see what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Good. Tosh Smith looking over there like, Who wouldn't?
Well,
I know I would. I'd lay it all on the line for Brianna. All on the line, baby. Okay, so let me do the share thing again.
Oh, Sean's up to 18 already.
I have to update my nickname.
Sean the Accord Lord, fuck YouTube times 18. Every time they take out the Accord Lord.
I have to update my
Which I still haven't figured out why the fuck they would do that. I have no idea why they would take that out.
Hold that up, Tasha. Because I don't know what he's saying. What are you saying?
His nickname is Sean the Accord Lord. And YouTube keeps editing the Accord Lord out.
Whose nickname?
Sean Miller. It's Sean the Accord Lord Miller. But every time he puts the Accord Lord in there, YouTube edits it out. So he keeps putting it back in.
Oh, okay.
He's up to 18 times now. He keeps track of how many times they keep removing it.
Okay. I understand now. I was so confused. I didn't know what was happening.
Just a shout out against censorship. But that one's weird. I have no idea why they would take out the Accord Lord.
And Sean is so adorable. Like I've been in many independent media streams with him. It's a him, right?
Yeah.
I just don't know. It's a him.
Yes.
Okay. And everything.
He's got a beard like mine, only red.
Oh, okay. And everything he says makes sense.
Oh yeah, yeah, very based.
Very based. So shout out to you, Sean. Shout out to you. What's weird as hell?
They're talking about how YouTube keeps crashing his name. Keep taking it.
I thought they was talking about our show. I was like,
that's a little weird too.
What we did.
This ain't the hill. There's no fancy graphics. There's there's no producers whispering in our ears saying, "Less Israel, say less Israel."
Oh shit! Oh,
I feel I can't believe she stayed there as long as she did. I was in that industry, and yeah, I ended up walking out, just fucking turn around without saying a word. I didn't even yell, didn't even scream, didn't even say goodbye. I just looked them in the eye with complete shock when they offered me an 8-penny raise. Stood up, walked out, and never looked back.
Do you okay do you know that Facebook lady, her name's Veronica, and she just be talking shit about how I'm not doing extra work. I'm not doing no more for you than what you giving me. Have you ever seen her?
Oh yeah, what do they call that? Quiet quitting or whatever.
Quiet quitting.
Silent striking.
Yeah, I want to read this because it's up on the screen from Jacqueline Jacques. It says, "I'm furious because I had to verify my age to watch a documentary, but when I tried to use the information on my debit card, it wasn't accepted because I had to be."
It had to be in a form of a credit card.
It had to be in. Oh, not a debit card. I'm sorry.
They wouldn't take the debit card because they're afraid you're going to run out and take that last $20 out of your checking account before they can bill you.
I'm sorry, Jacqueline. I fucked that up. I'm sorry, baby. It is discrimination against poor people.
Oh, yeah.
It happens all the goddamn time. Like I would say to my nieces and nephews, like just trying to get them to understand and learn what life is. And I say to them, emergencies is just life happening to poor people. That's all it is. If you're not
it's a
poor,
modern day poll tax. Modern day poll tax.
If you're not poor, you just get that shit together and move on. But to a poor person, it's a fucking I'm cussing.
Yeah, I already got one in.
Where's Sammy?
She's calling. We're in the middle of heading with the state.
I'm looking for my money.
Medicaid, and I got to stop saying the Z word because I swear to God, every time I say the Z word, her insurance gets screwed up or her medication, they cancel her insurance medication, or the last one, I've been working straight for 4 years, and like last year, for some reason, my W-2 got changed, so they didn't take out any taxes. I think somebody's fucking with us. I may be paranoid, but it seems like every time I bring up my feelings on Palestine, shit happens with my job.
Leave that up, please. I'm sorry, I wasn't talking to you. I was just keep going.
No, that's it. I'm done with my rant.
Okay.
I hope I'm being paranoid. I hope I'm a small enough fish that they don't really care, but I have a feeling that I might be getting fucked with because of the shit that I say.
And they all watching. Yeah. Bad Cookie says you should let me speak to your children. I will teach them the magic of cooking crystal. What? Wait a minute.
Yeah, you got to make sure to read the end of Cookie's comments before you throw them up.
Wait a minute, Bad Cookies. Put that down. Not my kids.
There's double digits.
Okay, you read this one.
Cookie said here. Sean, according to Miller, that's back when her body count was in double digits. I'm not sure who Cookies is talking about. I've been
I don't know what's going on in the comments. Sasha,
stop putting the comments up. Here, I got one from Cookies here. They'll start with your finances. Well, yeah, they kind of did. They've been all of a sudden they were getting all this weird shit that was never a problem before, with like authorized signatures and all this shit that hasn't been a problem for 4 years, but now all of a sudden 5 years, and now all of a sudden it becomes a problem.
Okay, thank you. A voice of reason. Nihilo Nordstrom, aka Michael, says, I'm not a fan of swear words and curse words being banned, considering it was originally the church who wanted to tell everybody what words they're allowed to say. Fuck the church. Fuck the church.
Well, that's why they call them curses, because that was the original spells. You could say curses to make bad things happen to people, and when you believe that shit, it actually works.
Fuck the church and fuck them kids and fuck all of them. That's how I feel. Because you we did an interview, right, Tasmit? We did an interview with kids, and we talked about family, and the overwhelming thing that they said to us was that family is the people you create. Right? Didn't they say that?
Hide your kids, hide your wife. Everybody's getting baptized up in here.
This is what hide your kids, hide your wife. Everybody getting raped up. Hide your kids, hide your wife. That's funny. That's funny, Sean. Everybody getting raped up in here. The thing these kids told us is that family is created from your unit of friends, not because this is just your family. Rondo Ellsworth says words are spells. Having an understanding
etymology
is a good way to prevent enchantment. I can't see.
I know. We need to get.
I can't. I gotta do this.
You need to get some bigger readers. Get some that are.
I'm supposed to be wearing bifocals, but I tried to order them and it didn't feel right. It looked funny. I couldn't see shit.
Yeah, Better Half Hours had some, but it was so low. They put the vision so low that she'd have to go down like this to read.
Right.
She was getting her neck aches because her glasses were too low, or her bifocals were too low.
Michael, Hello, Nordstrom said, "Skin folk ain't kinfolk." You see what I'm saying? We all saying the same shit. We good. Look, we ain't got through 8 minutes of this 30-minute interview. And we still talking shit. What Sean said, now that Bree lost her job, I may have a chance. Shoot your shot.
You're going to have to go to Sizzler.
Shoot your shot, baby. Good luck.
I bet you could take her to Starbucks. She'd be just fine with that.
Yo, should I do more?
Yeah. Sizzler gone too. Yeah. They're all gone. They're trying to get it to in the future, every restaurant is Taco Bell. And if they have all the restaurants Taco Bell, then they can control the food supply for the whole country.
Is gross. Never mind. I got my own. Never mind. Let me just.
All right, let's get
Hi,
back.
Judy. She's new. Hi, Judy. Welcome.
Oh, Judy Ben.
Here.
Yes, of course.
Debunked talking points about a mass rape hoax. That means I don't believe women now. So
you've been rehashing it.
Yeah, so
of course. Like, it's not
what,
worth
to me is what looked like it triggered. You know, what was it?
Right.
Like
it
not even
it's
that.
honestly
What I just
not
did
even
now,
worth, I think.
that's way more exaggerated than what you did.
Yeah, I almost don't think it's even worth debating it because it obviously wasn't about the eye roll. It was about the Hill looking for months for a pretext to fire me. And by the way, I'm not upset about it. Like, when I decided to stay after Katie Halper was fired, it was to test their argument that Katie's firing wasn't
Russell got
ideological.
caught drinking. He thought he had a time.
I had
there.
a long, torturous, insane conversation with Bob Cusack, the CEO, about the ostensible reason why Katie was no longer brought back to be a commentator on the Hill. And I told him, I don't believe you.
Yeah,
I think it's a lie. But I'm going to be, I'm going to stay here going full bore about this issue. And I guess we'll see what happens. That's what I said. I guess we'll see. And it's been, I feel for Katie because it's been a little uncomfortable almost, because to the extent that I have been allowed to go for this long, it did validate them on some level, right? Although I do think there's a difference. I think that part of what was so triggering to them about Katie, my observation, and I'd be interested to hear from both of you, that there seems to be a particular ire reserved for Jewish critics of Israel.
Yeah, she's blood libel.
I said that exactly when it happened. I said it's anti-Semitic to fire Katie over this because she helps dismantle the idea that it is not only that the case that Jews support Israel, but that Jews have a duty to support Israel. And to have prominent Jews speaking against Israel just disrupts that whole narrative too much. So I think that's absolutely...
This is from Bad Faith.
Yeah,
that's also what... Yeah, go ahead.
They have a whole different one.
They cannot have that front and center. It breaks.
I'm sorry. Go ahead and say what you want to say.
Oh, Nick was saying it's a snippet, and he thought DD will play the whole thing. This is actually the Bad Faith.
Tasha, can you go back to that?
I
Dr. Nick. She got you. Oh, where it went? No, Dr. Nick. What? Wait.
There we go. There we go. It's a snippet. I think DD will play the whole thing. And it's actually Bad Faith. So it's Bree's podcast. Bree interviewed them, and then they interviewed her. So there will be two different sets of interviews and you'll get a little clip on Bad Faith unless you're one of her Patreons to unlock the whole thing. So you just got to keep that PMC thing, PMC reputation going. I think she only
did successful lawyers. Wait, Bree.
Color me shocked.
Ooh. Okay, round.
Yeah, we're up against gray zone right now, unfortunately. So thank you guys all for showing up here. We might not be as informative as Max and Aaron, but we will be funnier. I promise that.
We have new people in the chat, so I want to recognize them. Cheryl Smith, Scroogle.
That's Screw Google. He's another one like Sean who has to keep swapping his name.
There's a few of them, like new people in the chat, and I just want to say hello and thank you for being here. And I want to say thank you to our regular friends, Mouse SF, Sean, Jacqueline,
Zombies in the Air,
Bad Cookies, Dr. Nick. I mean, there's so many.
It's a part. There's 25 people here.
Miguel H. If I don't call your name, I don't mean no harm. Golden
She doesn't
Monarch.
call your name. She doesn't really like you, but she's just too nice to say
You ain't shit.
it. Sorry. Made me snort.
And look at him. What he said? Scrooge pushes the envelope more than Bree.
Oh,
What? Bad cookies just say free dry clean. Jude, you know what? I love a petty motherfucker. I give free credit moving in those. Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah. Well, but she's bored to it, so she's just a fish swimming in water with those people.
Ooh. I
She's just-
mean, somebody had to say it.
Yeah. Hey,
Okay, so we
my
are
wife.
only.
My
we are
wife
only,
says it was my sense of humor that attracted her to me. I thought it was my
we are
devastating
only
good looks, but I guess
nine.
that was not the case.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's all right.
We are only 9 minutes into this 30-minute conversation. Do you want to just?
We're going to have to keep rolling on this. We're going to have to take shorter breaks if we're going to get through this. I'll try to keep my comments short.
Goddamn funny. It wasn't the.
Oh, I know. This wasn't there when we met. This was all gone. This was not the glorious thing that it is now.
Look. He got time. Look. What's the line, Tajman? I've been checking my wrist. I got time today. Fuck it, I'm crossing the line today. Now you know that, Dr. Nick. I bet you do. Oh, thank you, Judy. All right, so we'll play some more and see our reactions, because this is like we haven't watched this, so this is a complete reaction.
Yeah, it looks like most of everybody in the chat hasn't seen
Whole
this
narrative.
either, so we're all discovering this
of
together.
What we have been arguing throughout is Israel is not creating a safe haven for Jews, because first of all, a world where Jews literally had to flee to Israel would be a world where it had lost its Western support. And if Israel were to lose its Western support, there would be no protection for Jews who went to Israel. They'd be swallowed up by the surrounding countries in about 5 minutes. So that basic premise is absurd on its face. Aside from that, in reality, Israel causes a great deal of anti-Semitism because of Jews who present to the public the notion that Zionism and Judaism are synonymous. Okay, so people see a genocide being committed in Gaza. They start to learn the facts about the history of Israel and the displacement of the Palestinian people, and you're putting in people's minds that that's what Judaism is. And then when they, because of every effort that you've made to ensure that they think Judaism and Zionism are the same thing, they say something that is anti-Semitic with that misunderstanding, then you're going to call them anti-Semites. It is not making us safer. It's endangering us.
I have nothing but sympathy for non-Talmudic Jewish people, because they are getting their name drugged.
I'm glad you said that, non-Talmudic.
Yeah.
I just want to say,
the ones that don't worship Satan.
I love due dissidents. That dude why he look like a crawfish?
Russell? Yeah. Yeah, him and the son don't work well together.
The son don't like him. I'm just saying. God damn. That dude looked like he about to burn up. Like, get out the sun, please. Just go in the house. Please. That's all I'm saying. But I like it.
Oh, did we lose the?
Bad Cookie said, "Did you say crawfish?" Yes, baby. I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Yeah, crawfish is my middle name. Crawfish is my middle name, baby. And the sun, yes. Because and can you put that back up with Dr. Nick, please? Because he makes it an interesting point, because the sun, like they talk about the sun like Jesus as the sun, but the sun in ancient spirituality was Amun Ra. So that was the sun. So they changed that from the sun as in worshiping the sun that brought you crops and stuff to a son of somebody. I don't know.
Well, actually, Ra was the Egyptian sun god, and then there was Amun who took Ra's name to become Amun Ra, and which he was the one that introduced monotheology, one God. He introduced the one God theory, and that has carried on all the way to today, which is why at the end of a prayer you say Amen. You're actually praying to Amun Ra.
You know what?
Dun, dun, dun.
First of all, you know I love me some Michael. He about to can I send you a link, Michael, so you could just show up and talk your shit? Oh, Bad Cookie says, hell yeah, Abby do was going down the rabbit hole for a second there. Careful, Abby. You will hear. Look, I can't see, baby.
You will hear how the pyramids are giant power generators that will blow your mind.
Oh, you know who? You know who was talking about that? What's that comedian? Eddie Griffin. Eddie Griffin talked about that. How like the beams of the lights, like all that shit was.
Yeah. Well,
Yep. I got you, Bad Cookies.
There's two little compartments that would mix the two different chemicals, and that would go up into the king's chamber, and then there's shafts that actually go out, which are the exact same size as the frequency of hydrogen, so it could actually shoot hydrogen beams out into space to power spacecrafts or power the troposphere, or the ionosphere, so they could use Tesla type electricity, free electricity.
I'm about to send my sweetheart Michael a link. A sneaking link. You want a sneaking link? Because you know he got some shit to say.
Stargate was a document. Yeah, really, makes about as much sense as Catholicism.
Just keep talking, baby.
Score one.
I can send this to him. Why you keep talking?
Do you want me to keep talking about how the pyramids
keep talking.
were
Keep talking.
ancient power generators for the Anunnaki so they could power their ships while they kept us down here mining gold for them? And the funny thing is, Bill Gates didn't really get that. Bill Gates wants to take gold flakes and throw them up into the atmosphere to block out sunshine, which I don't really see that as a good idea. He thinks because it worked for the Akhenazi that the ant people. Just because it worked
Akhenazi.
Yeah.
Is what you're trying to say.
No. I'm talking about the Anunnaki, the Anunnaki, the ant people, the ones that created us, the ones that turned us from monkeys into thinking slaves.
Oh my gosh.
Earl. Yeah. Sorry, she said go off, so I'm just gonna keep riffing until
keep going.
Get back to Bree. So let's see. Anunnaki made gold. Oh, the one that I like is that if you look back at the DNA of human beings, there is between human beings, there's a 0.0001 or maybe just 0.001% difference in all the humans' DNA. But if you look at an animal like chimpanzees, their genetic difference is like 0.1, or maybe it's even 1. I don't know. It's way.
I think you're actually talking about bonobos.
Yeah, well, they're way more genetically diverse than we are, which means that the human race at one point in our history was down to 50 human beings on the planet. All of us come from the same 50 human beings.
I think you're talking about bonobos.
I think any of them.
We're just like only minus 5% genetically different from bonobos.
Oh yeah, well, we're only 1% different than an oak.
I don't know.
Genetically, we're only 1% different than an oak tree. Maybe that's 5%. We share. I mean, most of life shares most.
Can I read this
DNA.
for you? Earl of Laura says, "Oh, Tasha."
I liked it. I was cracking on the History Channel since it's basically Stargate now. Yeah. Well, that's
Hardliz Media has entered the chat.
Oh, there's Kit.
We always want to.
I hope you got your homework done.
Support independent media. Lizards.
Those are gators. That's for Chance the Snapper. That's a Chicago legend.
I always assumed they were lizards.
Yeah, it took me a minute. To figure out what they were. Nick, yes. Then I switched to auto repair manuals when I started working on cars for no reason other than fun. Hey, if you enjoy being a motorhead, man, that's a hobby that is actually functional. I mean, if your hobby is putting together jigsaw puzzles, that's not ever going to pay any bills. It's not going to help you when you're broken down on the side of the road either.
I'm interested that you always thought they were gators. I thought they were lizards because I feel like the 1% uses a lizard brain.
Lizard brains, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I always felt like.
Lizard people
was being expressed. So for you to say gators, I'm confused.
There was an alligator that got set loose in the Chicago sewer system, and it made the news, and they called it Chance the Snapper. That's a funny little pun. And then it started. Then of course, once that happens, it makes the news. Then you're going to have copycats. So I think they ended up with 4 alligators in the Chicago sewer system, and that's how a legend is born.
I want to read this from Bad Cookies. Abby Do, the legend goes that there was a giant criminal mastermind Mastermind.
Hey, yeah.
That snitch on his own guy named Trey. They thought they killed him, but he got away 4 times. The gangster was named
Chance.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. No, he's
Have
fucking
you
with
ever
you
heard
again.
that?
No, he's
I
fucking
don't know
with
what
you.
he's talking about.
He's just fucking with you.
Chance the Snapper. Is he
Is
just
it
fucking with
people?
me? You
It's
know
for
what?
Chance the Rapper. You know, it's a pun.
Oh, Chance the Oh, it's a pun.
Yeah.
You know what? Bad cookies. Bad cookies.
I told you got to read you got to read all the way to the end before you start.
Chance
Was Aragon's original name. There's
Look at this.
Scroll Lives Matter. Now,
You know what?
now we're getting deep into the D&D stuff.
They play too much. They play too much. All right, so should I go back into the
You're gonna have to. We're already at an hour 13. If we're gonna wrap this up under 4 hours, we better start.
Oh no, we don't have to go back to her.
No,
we got the gist.
Oh no, it's gone, isn't it? I was gonna say it was actually just getting to the good part that I was gonna make a comment on. If you got,
okay.
If you got 5 more minutes.
Play it. Yeah.
Yes, there's a part here where this is the part that I did see, and where they're talking about how the Zionists are actually making it more dangerous for the Jews in America.
Okay, I could play it. All right, here we go.
And when because of every effort that you've made to ensure that they think Judaism and Zionism are the same thing, they say something that is anti-Semitic with that misunderstanding, then you're going to call them anti-Semites. It is not making us safer. It's endangering us.
Yes, it's almost like non-Zionist Jews are human shields. We are used as human shields.
Good point, Keith.
Yeah.
Zionists. That's what we are. We are the human shields. We are the ones you throw us up and say to criticize the Israeli project is to criticize Jews. You can't hit Israel without hitting Jews, right? That's the whole play.
Yeah, I've been struggling with that a little bit in my last radar. I was talking about that Bill Maher clip where he does his classic Islamophobia. Actually, frankly, ever since the Dissident Dialogues event, I mean, this is going to sound sort of naive. I don't mean it in this naive way, but like it really hit home for me how much the whole basis of defending Israel's behavior and the Zionist project more broadly is so inextricable at its core from Islamophobia. Like
Racism.
when I was sitting there in that room, there's this argument that I ran off the stage and called everybody racist. No, I did make a comment. I made a comment about
You would have been right to.
Frankly, appalled I was by the open Islamophobia that was being expressed both on the panel and in the reactions from the audience.
Right.
At one point, there was I was saying some statistics about the number of children who had died or something like that, and I heard a cackle, like a singular, like audible cackle from a woman sitting down in the front row, and I just turned and looked at her. Like it was weird to be so proximate to people who had absolutely no shame about having views that are so essentialist and so out of step with what we consider to be polite in society, and to just look at them in the eye and them to look you back with absolutely no shame. I came home. This is going to sound, again, very melodramatic. I'm sorry. I'm feeling a little confessional today. But I called my mom and I was like, I'm not saying it's not about me. It's about what this means about how they feel about Palestinians. It wasn't about
with absolutely no shame. I just wanted to express that part. Absolutely no shame.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they've realized that the jig is way fucking up. That the jig is done. There's nothing that they can do to go back to the propaganda. Just the veil that was pulled over everybody's eyes. Now everybody knows. So they're just going to go full speed. They're going to get their $11 million out of Joe that they've already invested in him. They're not turning back now, which I think that's what makes them more dangerous than ever. They're obviously not worried about getting hostages back. They're not going to stop destroying the Gaza Strip until they are stopped. Somebody's going to have to stop them, or they're just going to completely go through with their plans and level the whole thing and build a canal. That's the only two possible options. There's no such thing as a two-state solution as far as they're concerned, because a two-state solution means you have two countries. And if Palestine's a country, that means they get an army, an air force, a navy, whatever the hell they want. And there's no way. And that's, I think they were talking, I don't know, it may have probably later in here, they talk about, Bree talks about in this, what did they call it? Dissident meeting.
We talk about. I'll play it.
Okay, I'll save it. I'll
play it.
I'll save it.
And then I'm gonna go off camera for a second. Okay.
Okay.
I'll play it.
Okay.
Anti-Black hatred. It's about Islamophobia, anti-Arab hatred. But I said to my mom, I couldn't stop thinking of those pictures of Ruby Bridges, integrating schools, and the high school students in the South integrating schools with those crowds of spitting and jeering white students that didn't want them to come. I think of those images with some historical distance, and it was chilled by the reality and the openness of the Islamophobia that was being expressed in the room, and how core it was to the arguments that were being made. When
they don't even
Moynihan
understand
says,
it as being racist. That's just the way they are.
It's not like they're Danes moving in. You can't let these people come here. You can't let them have a right to return. Yes, Israel's a great country because Arabs and Jews live side by side. Aren't we a great Western democracy? But also, if you let in any more, then they'll rip us to shreds because they're savages, unlike Danes.
I suspect.
Okay, here we go.
Conversation that we're having when people talk about Zionism these days. Incredible to me that I'm I thought this was a settled matter. Zionism is about this creation of the state of Israel.
We thought that propaganda took.
Zionist, or are you an anti-Zionist? What I'm trying to figure out is if
sorry, Mom, that's not true.
Believe that the state of Israel should exist at all, and if we should wipe a UN member nation off the map, because that is effectively what right of return is. The right of return is not take 7 million refugees, and this number expands. These are people who have never been in the area, have resettled other places. And Benny Morris's book is far more nuanced than that is allowing, that there were people who were expelled, there were people that were forced out by their own side, etc. Benny Morris has actually said this, and you quoted him, so let me go to him, that if you do have right of return, which by the way,
that's how you know he's starting to lie.
People that go to the West Bank and Gaza, very specifically doesn't mean that. It goes to what Israel is now. In what Morris said, and I think it was an article tablet, he said, the response to this is, if you think October 7th is bad, this is going to be a giant bloodletting. This is not as if 7 million Danes are coming in. These are people who have an ideological predisposition.
Right.
And nobody questions that rationale, because the belief that they are savages is so in bed.
Well, and you see it.
Yeah, it sounded like a good time to pause. So
what they're saying is, what they're going to say here is that we can't have Palestinian right of return. We can't have 7 million Palestinians roll back in here because it's not like they're Danes, because the Danes are so cool. No, because the Danes don't have a legitimate reason for kicking your ass. The Danes don't have 75 years of retribution in their backpack that they're going to bring with them.
Rondo brings up a good point. He says the Zionist project was launched back when Jim Crow. It was launched way before Jim Crow, but I understand what you're trying to say. Yeah, but it was the Zionist.
It goes back before,
before Jim Crow.
The German Zionists bailed out of Germany in 1933 with a pat on the back from Hitler. They were all happy working together. But yeah, that whole shit goes back to 1913, that Zionist project shit. They've been fucking around a long time, and now they're finding out.
We got another comedian in the house. Wait. That's okay.
Yeah, Zionist project.
Yeah.
The Israeli occupation force. 1800s, yeah.
That's way before Jim Crow.
Well, and that's, I've been looking at all this shit on Twitter, and I keep seeing all these feeds that are showing how the Jews declared war on Germany before World War II because they didn't like the fact that Hitler was cracking down on their bank loaning and their leather dens, their underground leather dens.
I want to read this because, it's a lot to read. So Rondo says design is, I can't see. Hold on.
Design is, I'm really
Thank you.
goes
You
back
can
to
read
the
it.
late 1800s. Number referring to the design is project in the previous comment. The project in the previous comment. I was speaking about the so-called state of Israel.
Oh.
Yeah, no, Israel has never been more than an idea, and it's never been a good one.
The Zionist, Dr. Nick says the Zionist entity started out as a Rothschild's real estate investment project.
That is true. Yeah, I still haven't seen anybody square how the United Kingdom had the right to give Jewish Zionist Palestinian land. I can't put those dots together. Abidu, my family's from Nola. My brother lives up your way in Baker.
Oh, that's right. The damn street.
Did I say Nolans, right?
Nolans.
Nolans?
Nolans.
Okay.
That's right.
Sure.
The damn street. Like I probably, who your people is? What church you go to? That's the questions we ask. Who your people is?
Zionism goes back to the 1800s. When I'm referring to the Zionist project.
You keep reading. Keep reading it.
Oh, that's the one I read before. And I'm specifically speaking of the so-called state of Israel.
Oh, okay. All right, you could take that down, Shmasha. We got a Shmasha in the house.
I was reading an old chapter of a Sherlock Holmes book, which is really racist, by the way, and they were talking about Mormon Zionists. Yeah, was that Ian Fleming? Did he do? Israel is being established in 1948. Jim Crow was considered good law in the United States of America in 1948. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But Israel has been
planned.
They've been colonizing all over the country, all over the place, way before 1948. We covered that.
Heavy do. I could never be more serious about anything than what I'm about to ask you right now. Do you condemn Hamas?
Nope.
I condemn Hamas as
I don't.
I do. I condemn
I don't.
Hamas. I do. I condemn
I
Hamas.
don't.
You gotta let me finish it.
I will. I'm sorry.
I do condemn Hamas as chronic procrastinators.
Oh, see, I had to let you finish. Nope, I don't condemn them because if you're a resistor, you are not a terrorist. You're a resistor.
It's impossible. You know that words matter, and you know that the Zionists love to use those words in the way they're not supposed to be used for that very reason. I don't think terrorism was even a word before 1948.
We got another comedian in the
house.
Oh,
yeah. Screw Google's funny guy. Abby doesn't know I'm setting up a joke. Well, because I do them so flat that
I
you
know.
can't hardly tell when they're coming.
I messed up. I'm not a comedian,
That's all
so
right.
I don't.
We'll get
I
you there.
messed it up, but I came through
Yeah,
in
you
the
did.
end. Did I?
Oh yeah. Oh
All
yeah.
right. I fixed it.
Okay, Rondo, I got you here. You're not understanding what I'm saying. The legal entity known as the State of Israel was established in 1948. Before then, that was British Palestine. Before then, part of the Ottoman Empire and the Roman Empire. And yeah, the Turks did a number in there. Yeah, it's been, if you think about it, the same justification that the British used to give Palestine to the Zionists, the Italians could say that technically Britain should belong to Rome, right? Because they had the Romans built all the roads there in Britannica. And so I guess technically, all the Italians should have right of return to London.
You see how it keeps popping up? Okay. Thank you. I'm sorry. I was just trying to. And then he says, regardless, Zionism and the state of Israel is an outgrowth of the set of colonial framework that is the age of discovery.
Yeah.
I really appreciate Rondo. He's very intelligent.
Oh yeah.
And he makes very good points. And so I really appreciate when he shows up and shows out.
I got to throw up Nick's engineering joke. Resistance. Does anyone remember that episode of The West Wing where Charlie brought the president an ancient map of the Middle East and the president couldn't accept it because Israel wasn't? Yeah, right.
I love you too, Judy. I definitely do. I don't even like being in front of a camera, to be honest with you. It took everything out of me to do this. So I appreciate y'all for appreciating me.
Yeah, it was a hard day all around.
Yeah, I'm saying I've been behind the camera for years as a producer, as a director, as an editor. I never wanted to be in front of a camera. So, but the shit was just getting too crazy. And I was like, okay, we need to say something. Well, who's saying something? And there's an independent media out there that's saying something. And I was like, well, God damn it, I need to say something too.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was at. Yeah, I was like, if I can't do something, at least I can do is get online and bitch about it. So it's barely better than nothing.
It's barely better than nothing. Oh, thank you, Jacqueline. She said I look great. Girl, this is the worst time I looked in the camera. What did I tell you, Mastermind? Before we went live, I was like, I
got 10 minutes to put on my head.
I was like, I don't look like shit. I got on a wife beater and some goddamn shorts.
Yeah, well, at least they're Nike shorts.
I was like, but I'm here. Who said that?
In it to win it.
I'm here. Oh, that iconic phrase. I may be black, I may be ugly, but I'm here. You remember that movie? What was that movie, Tasha? Color Purple. Color Purple. I may be black, I may be ugly, but I'm here. That's how I felt today. So thank you for.
Well, you look better than Oprah. That makes you feel any better.
Nice new shorts.
And a Kasperian reference.
Well, at least, I mean, I ain't got no pants.
I'm in shorts too, so I'm not pointing any fingers.
Oh, okay. What you want to show them legs or not?
Me?
Yeah,
No,
show them legs.
Woo!
Ew-wee.
It's hot here. I can't. It's way too hot to be wearing jeans today.
Ew-wee.
I'm glad you like that, Screw.
Where's Sammy at?
I think she's
Sammy,
on the phone.
go and get your son. Go and get your son.
Oh yeah, well, I took a shower and did the hair and did everything. So she was looking at me. So she's looking at me hungry. So I might have to wrap this up soon.
Yep. Okay, so let's wrap it. Well, before we do, it's 22 people here. Thank you so much for being here. There is 22 people on YouTube. Please like, subscribe, and share. And we are going to do like some type of thing where we have all of the independent media in a scroll, so we don't have to try to figure it out every time.
Yeah. Well, now every time we got a new background here and put the little icon up in the corner, we got the little scroll, so we're getting there. What?
You working on it?
Right. Work in progress. Just like the house, I'm hanging curtains back here. Which is why I don't have the lights going or anything. But
we're work in progress. And I have news. I think I might have an interview with Jasmine Sherman.
That would be awesome.
On Thursday. I think I might.
Well, don't spill the beans till you get the fish in. You know, I've done that a couple times. You know who I'm gonna have on, and then they bail on. So it's.
I know I shouldn't say anything,
but
I'm doing it to put it in the air to just
put it out in the universe.
Put it out in the universe. So I'm really hoping, because I really like that lady.
Yeah.
And that will be a good conversation with Mia. She said Thursday. So that would be noteworthy.
I'll be watching.
So please tune in at 5 p.m. Central Time on Thursday. Oh, y'all are so sweet. And I love y'all so much. This family we've created.
We should be here Monday, whatever time it says on your clock, just subtract an hour and a half, and that's what time we'll be on next week.
Oh, Mastermind, you have become a great friend to me, and I appreciate you.
I appreciate you as well. Mm-hmm. We're gonna have to start working on doing 2 times a week, because it's going to take us 5 shows just to get through Bree's little talk with DD. And
I only got 15 minutes in.
Right. Maybe next week.
Talking shit.
Right. But I'm interested I want to see Bree on DD. I want to see Keaton and Russell asking Bree the questions. I think that'll be a more informative interview, as opposed to, because I think that they probably scheduled this last minute because Russell was at that dissident meeting where she was going up against the 3 Zionists. He was there actually filming the whole thing and was talking to her right afterwards. So I think they probably set that up impromptu. Hey, you do my show, I'll do your show. So we'll see what kind of questions the DD boys bring.
So before we go, can we Shamasha, can you put up my handle? Like, take that down. I think my handle.
I got you.
There it is. That's my handle. And yours is at Mastermind Hour, right?
Yeah. It's just All my
Okay.
socials are the same. Probably take a space out of Mastermind Hour for Twitter, but other than that,
Yeah, you gotta take the space out.
yeah, squeeze it
Michael, your shit is complicated. Can
together.
you put it up again? His shit is complicated. Nihilo Nostrum. Come on, Michael, hurry up.
Ooh, can I throw in the other background? See if people hate it.
Yeah, yeah.
I had this
If they like
background,
it.
and then I had this background. I think you're right, though. I think it's too light. I think the peach.
I think that's too light.
Yeah, I think you're right. Okay, one for in the chat, one for this one, two for this one.
I like that one better.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's even gonna be.
Oh, there he goes. Okay. All right. Oh, wait, hold on. So,
Nihilo Nostrum.
like and subscribe to Michael's channel because he's gonna be doing some great things soon. Right now, we're just all of us are over here because we didn't know what to do and we just had to scramble and get our shit together. Okay.
Yes, we're definitely building the boat as we're sailing.
Exactly. So like and subscribe to that channel right there. Like and subscribe to mine, please. And thank you. And like and subscribe to Mastermind.
Yeah, I have a YouTube channel, but if you go to my YouTube channel, there's no videos. But if you go into the playlist, then I have links to everything that I've been in. If you're interested, I don't know why you would be, but you can check out all my shit there.
So we're going to say good night and goodbye. And we'll see you on Monday.
Stay good, civilians.